Hey guys, it's your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I am here to tell you some of my thoughts on World at War 85 coming soon to Kickstarter from Lock and Load Publishing. Now I've got a little example set out for you here, and this is a operational level war game set in a fictional World War III, obviously. This was hands down one of my favorite games that I got to experience and play during my time at the WBC this past year. It has a miniatures war game feel set down into an actual counters-based war game. That way you actually get more units onto the board than you would in a general miniatures game. Now, without getting into everything that's involved with the game, the short version is it's a card-driven chip pull type mechanic. And what I mean by that is you'll have a deck of cards that is going to be associated with all the different units that are involved in the scenario that you're playing. And the units have a colored stripe on them, whether it's orange, green, gray, blue, whatever it is, and that designates them to a formation. And each one of those formations will have one or two cards associated with it that will take and get added to a deck that also has end of turn and battlefield event cards. And these will be all stacked together, yours and your opponent's. They'll randomly be drawn and designate which formation is going to activate at that point. And the neat part about that is you're not going to know which formation is going to activate when, and you're not going to know if a formation is going to actually activate that turn, because it is possible that the end of turn cards will be drawn before your unit formation card actually gets to be drawn, and that unit won't activate that turn. It will be set aside, the HQ will be set aside for the following turn, and it'll guarantee that that unit will activate on the following turn. But that means you have to take and plan your strategies around the fact that today isn't guaranteed to you. So what is your opponent going to do? It's possible that they might get to activate a unit twice before you get to activate yours even once, and you have to consider that. Real neat system, and it does play very well for solitaire players because you have that random factor that is needed for solitaire play. So the chip pull mechanic definitely works very well for this game for competitive or solitaire play. And it is an easy game to play. Most of the information that you need is going to be on the counters or the handful of player aids that the game comes with. You're not going to have to take and dig into the rule book very much after you've taken and read and learned the rules. The units are going to operate off a fairly simple system of the range, the number of dice that they need to take and throw, and then the number needed to equal a success, of course, after applying any modifiers that might apply, and then you'll count up your success. And if your opponent has a defensive roll for armor or for terrain, they'll take and tally up the number of dice they're going to roll, compare it to their success number, and then they'll compare their successes to yours and apply any disrupted or reduced units as need be at that point, or potentially eliminate the units. And speaking of units, the game really does come with so many different types, all of our favorites from the 80s. It has Abrams, it has T-60s, it has Bradleys, it has Jeeps, it has tow missiles, Cobra attack helicopters, it has Hind helicopters, it has jets, it has everything that you could possibly want. T-55s, T-70s, T-80s, T-10,000s, you know what, I'm picking on the last one, but it has all the different types of units that you could want in the game represented for all the different nations, not just the US and Russia, but other nations like Germany are also represented with their units in the game as well. Another aspect of the game that I really have enjoyed is the holding boxes. And without getting long-winded on it, the way this is basically going to work is your HQs and your support weapons are going to start in these holding boxes. So when your opponent goes to take and deploy their units onto the board, they're not going to know where your heavy weapons and your HQs are going to be deployed, because they're going to be deployed after the game has already started. So they can't take and make that decision at the start of the map. They have to take and deploy their units in a general fashion and kind of guess, where's my opponent going to likely place his HQ? Where's he going to place his support weapons? And make their tactical decisions based on that, which kind of reflects the fact that the battlefield can change at any given moment, and you don't have that information. There's no HQ sniping in this game since they have the holding boxes represented. I really like that system. So like I said, this was one of my hands down favorite games. I really did enjoy watching this game be played out throughout the week, and then finally getting home and getting my own hands on it and getting to play it. It really is a streamlined but meaty game that gives you that Third World War feel with heavy tank units smashing into each other, infantry units hiding into the woods and firing tow missiles down into the enemy armor as they're pushing across the field trying to take different cities. I really have enjoyed this. I would recommend it for anyone who is interested in this type of game. Definitely back the Kickstarter. This is not one you're going to regret. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. You guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one.